Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Now let's go! 3-19!
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Here we go now. 3-19! 3-19!
Warner from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely... He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Fielded at the 20. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, We're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnists write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Partner, it's often the man cover. Is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Time to see how Atlanta will line up defensively. And they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. This is 1st and goal from about the 8.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
6 guy. Check 6 guy.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
Mike 51. Mike 51. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Well, anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
From the 3 now, here they come on 3rd and goal.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain, his guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh?
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football. Taking care of it. Putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Back out onto the fence. And Charles... And it's not going to. We still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Forced out to us. Now a loose football. The ball comes out.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
All right, here we go.
They'll try to run it in, going option right. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
Now let's go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that'll be incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it can be tipped up and picked off.
Well, definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green
They'll try to
39.
run for this. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The keeper good for only 4, and that's going to lead to a 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And this, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Here we go. 3-19.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
The first update now from a game going on in Cleveland. And the Steelers there out to an early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
And they'll run it here. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. But look now at the defensive starters for the Saints. They were very good a week ago in the win over Minnesota.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in, and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
To throw on 2nd down, Warner. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a
different story.
Long night.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He sets to fire deep. And it'll be intercepted. A great read and it's picked off. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super tough.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him. And he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. It's the Saints in the lead early here. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Looking to throw. That's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside. That one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go now. 3-19.
On 2nd down, Warner got his man complete over the middle. That's King. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Double tight.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
A play fake. Now Warner. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Out of the gun, here's Warner. Over the middle, complete. That's Hartman. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go on the ground. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
To throw on 3rd down, Warner. And that is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So if you like field goals, you've come to the right spot. We've had 3 so far.
Well, this is a football game, right?
It is.
You like that one, huh? You like where I went with that? How about that one?
I like it.
Okay, but hey, let's face it. In this game right now, both defenses have responded well. They're trying to hold the line on this. You just wonder if anyone can break through with a touchdown and put some pressure on their opposition.
Gets fielded in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
Green 39.
the shotgun. He'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, line it. Blue.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Escaping the pressure. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
They'll look to throw here. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to float. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they?
Now let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. Stop right there.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
Looking to throw on second down. Warner, he's going to loft one deep left side here. Picked up by Marcus Williams.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Now a handoff looking right. He's got room to run past the 20. And finally taken down at the 26-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over, and we'll see what they come up with here on this next play.
Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver. Here we go now. Blue 90.
Now a play fake here on first down. Dancing to his left. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Tight end to the left, tight end left.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot.
Here's a play fake as they set up the throw. Flush to his right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at the 15. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Set! Green, 39! Green!
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout. And now we're set to get going. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
Green, 39!
To throw, Warner. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
Hurry up, here we go! Blue, 90!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. And the Saints signal for another timeout as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken right on the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
3 down, 3 down!
And mark him down all the way inside the Atlanta 20. A big play there just before halftime. 42 yards. And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. To throw now on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. The Saints on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. Now back to throw. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. In for the score. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. A try here for the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans.
New Orleans will kick this one off. Number 86, the deep return man.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A final shot before break. Warner. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll get things started with an interconference matchup. Washington on the road in Jacksonville. And that one just before halftime with the Jaguars out on top. The Jags seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Next, we head up to the Windy City. Check on the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. Baker Mayfield with a couple of touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And that game is tied as they take on the visiting Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. Now he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Hurry up, here we go.
And a loose football. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
I got you. Now let's go. Blue line it.
Now this time he'll look to throw. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
Oh, yeah.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Hey, let's go this. Hey, let's go. Gun.
They'll set up to throw. Being chased out left. That is caught at the 7. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That time 12 yards on the pass play, but still shy of where they needed to go. 4th and goal. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
All right, here we go. 319!
From the gun on third down. Warner toward the sideline. He will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down in bounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? I mean, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
During the spring and summer months.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
All right, here we go. Blue landing!
Operating from the gun. Warner. And the pressure gets to him again.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Set!
From the gun, Warner. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like so there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 18. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
3-19!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Right back to him on first down. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Falcons say they have it. They do. A little careless with the football. And he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did. And when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you. 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away. Tuck it away because you've got to take care of the ball.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot. Great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Now let's go!
Following the fumble recovery. Warner looking left side, and he's got a man. It's King. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Now they try the right side here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
3-19!
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. It's a gain of 3 on what will be the final play of this third quarter.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the fourth. The Falcons on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
And they'll run it here. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
On play action, they'll throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. The job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
And just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
The Saints on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And with 3 inners ready, we'll see, do they
try and settle for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Warner from the gun. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Operating from the gun. Warner. Got his man complete over the middle. It's King. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
3-19.
From the gun, Warner. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Snags it for the pick. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Hey, we got 3 down. Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
51's the mic.
Check.
Now a handoff looking right. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Green 39! Green 39!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Deion Jones coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Saints on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 17.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a first down. It's 4th.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on second down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that lead will move from 20 up now to 23. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. The first down screen pass, good for 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
All right, here we go. 319.
To throw on second down, Warner. Time for a break. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Falcons on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go now.
Operating from the gun, Warner. Going right side here, and that's complete. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver. Here we go now. Green 39.
Now a first down throw, Warner. And his throw is incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
To throw again. Warner over the middle, complete. That's King. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down. Warner. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one.
Green 39.
On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
Watch that end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. 3 down, 3 down.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for New Orleans, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Till next time, we say so long from Atlanta.